Need to do a little bit of a shift here to the other presentation. So give me a moment. Hey, Dion.
How's it going?
Good. Good. Welcome.
Thanks. I'm eating dinner, so I'll be mute for a little bit unless you need me. But I'll be on. I'll be on.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
Just pulling up the presentation, waiting for Paul to pop in here.
Gotcha.
Okay, looks like Paul's having a little bit of trouble getting in here.
Hey there.
All right, welcome. Hey, Paul.
Hey there. How are you?
Great. Glad
Fantastic.
glad you could jump in here. All right, so I'll just do a quick intro. So this is Paul. He is from Organishield. And when was Organishield founded, Paul?
We started the registration process 2018, and we were registered in December of 2020.
Oh, wow. Okay. So long
So
process.
it's been a while. I'll explain in more detail about it here in a minute, but yeah.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So without further ado, this is Paul from Organishield. Take it away.
Awesome. Hey guys. Well, so let me get back to that. This molecule is really interesting. It actually started. They started the research back in the late '90s, um, and it made it through the EPA
Oh,
years.
Paul, are you following do you want to share the screen for the presentation, or do you want me to do the slides?
No, I could do it. Give me a second here.
All right, I'll disconnect.
Okay. Let me pull this. Hey, Cliff, I'm not sure how to present full screen. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. This program is new for me. Let's see.
Yep, you're good.
Is it sharing? There we go. It's coming up.
Yep, you're good.
All right. There we go. All right. Is everybody here with me?
Yeah, we are on board.
All right. Here we go. Okay, so let's get back to this. I'm Paul. I'm one of the founders of Organishield. Like I said before, this started in 2018. We were registered with the EPA. Let's see, how am I going to do this? Here we go. There we go. All right. So we're talking about bugs and how much of a pain in the neck bugs can be if you're not monitoring your plants. And then even when you do monitor your plants, there's really nothing on the market that can stand alone by itself. And as you can see, you can have a lot of damage to your plant very quickly if you, one, don't have the right products, or two, you're not monitoring your garden. IPM, this is typically what a commercial growers refer to for their pest management system. And as you can see, it's basically to manage bugs that attack your crop. Whether it could be one, could be multiple, and whether it be organic products or chemicals, they still have to monitor their crop, which all gardeners have to monitor their crop for pests, because if you don't, you could lose it. And basically, this is also, besides identifying, it's developing a plan with different products, mixture rates, schedule for the target pest. So I'm going to dive into that a little bit deeper. Is the reason why IPM, or this integrated pest management system, has been developed is because in the past there was no one product that growers, farmers could rely on to handle all their different pests. So typically, if we're talking about organics, you would use multiple products. So any commercial grower would have a variety of products on their shelves, and they would have to figure out what product is going to be most effective for that bug, as well as chemicals. And of course, dealing with bugs on your plants right now with our product is a whole lot easier. I don't know if you guys have ever seen or heard of products called safer soaps. This was coined by an active ingredient called potassium salts of fatty acids. And the potassium salt of fatty acids are pretty effective, but they're based on salt. And I don't know if you guys know, but salt can completely destroy your plant. So with this product, if you spray it in the sun or you use too much of it, you basically could damage your plant. You could hurt it worse than the bugs. So our product, when it was originally developed, it was developed with sugar as its base, and I'll get into that in a second. Our product is registered by the EPA. As I said, it was registered back in 2020. The original registration on this product was in 2003. It was on the market for a while, and then the original founder had passed away. The product sat idle for till 4 years, until 2018, when myself and one of my other partners found the substance and are bringing it back to life. We are both registered with the USDA Organic and OMRI, which is a West Coast, it's called the Organics Material Research Institute. We are currently approved for 3 different labels. We have a foliar broad spectrum label. We have a honeybee label, which, believe it or not, we're one of 3 organic products approved for organic use on the honeybee to kill the varroa mite, which is the honeybee's nos:one nemesis. It's actually worse than the chemicals. I'm sure you've heard with overspray of chemicals is killing our population of honeybees. Well, the varroa mite actually does more damage than that. And we're registered, we have a label to kill the varroa mite and not harm the honeybee. We also have a label for use on mushrooms and mushroom media. Our product actually was discovered, like I said, back in the 90s. And the molecule itself is actually secreted from a few different plants in nature. As you can see, the wild petunia, the wild potato, wild tobacco, and wild tomato, and there's 1 or 2 more that I'm forgetting. But this molecule, that the plant actually can convert its sugars into this molecule and it excretes it from its leaves to ward off pests. So this is something that is found in nature. Those 2 gentlemen you see are the original scientists behind this molecule. The one on the left is Tony Barrington. The one on the right is Gary Paterka. And Gary was a scientist at the USDA who did, originally this had received the grants to do all the studies on it. And Gary was the lead on all the studies with this molecule. And our molecule, I don't know if you guys can pronounce it, but it's called sucrose-octanoate. It's basically a sugar ester. When they did the research, that's what they found, that it had sugar ester. It was a sugar ester. It's made from, we don't use sugar beet, sugar cane. It's made from coconut oil, and that gets fractured into caprylic acid. And then they combine sucrose and the caprylic acid. And that's how the process is, it's a 10 to 14 day process. And then they come up with the final sugar ester product. They originally tried to harvest, grow some of these plants, especially the wild tobacco, which seemed to excrete the most. And even with a plant that was full grown, there was no way they could excrete enough to produce this on a large scale. So after years of development, they started with small batch, working their way up. And in this picture, this is one of our reactors in California. It's a 900-gallon reactor, and it's pressurized, and they use temperature. They have to change the atmosphere. It's pretty amazing organic chemistry. That's how it's made now. We do have the ability to scale up even more, and those are plans in the future. Let me see here.
It's oilless. It's oilless.
Hang on a second. Let me tell you about this real quick. So how our product actually works, it works like a soap. It dries out the bug. Most bugs have a waxy body, and when the fatty acid esters, when it hits the bug, it tends to dry them out. And when it dries them out, their body cannot hold liquids in. So it's like someone took a knife and stabbed them. So that's what we say when we can desiccate a body. And this video I'm going to show you real quick is a video we took in a sorghum field in East Africa, Uganda. They were dealing with armyworms really badly, and this is our product in action. So I'm gonna play this for you guys.
It's oilless. Oh.
Yeah, it's oilless.
And it curls up in a natural defensive position.
You can see it.
And then it'll start to squirm and get away, but it's already on it.
No. So
Hold
the
on
ground
there.
now. Can you just hold this? I need to tie this shit. Okay. Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. Let me help you.
This one is gone. It's dying. It's gone. All right.
So what do you guys think?
It looks like it changed colors toward the end. I assume that's because it was drying out.
No, that was the lighter underbody. The color of it is lighter
okay.
underneath. It's darker at the top. That has to do with the sun, so it doesn't get burned up. But it definitely, you know, on a soft body bug like this, it kills it very, very quickly. We've been able to kill everything up to Japanese beetles with it. It's highly effective. Now, the crustacean bugs that have the harder shells, the entomologists think that they ingest it or they breathe it in, and then it'll desiccate them from the inside, or get between the shell or whatever. We've done studies where we've been able to kill roaches with it at a little higher concentration. Hey, if anybody has any kind of questions, just feel free to jump in. I'm definitely not ever used to doing it like this, but so anyway, that being said, I'll keep going. Some of what our customers are saying. It's been, we've had customers that have had infestations, and nothing out there could save their crop, and they've been able to. We've had many customers say they've been able to save their crop because of Organishield's effectiveness.
Paul, we had a question from Danny. She said, are there ways to avoid killing beneficial bugs?
Great question, Danny. Yes, you know, it's funny that at the lower mixture rates, like I said, this doesn't harm the honeybee at the recommended mixture rate, which is 0.6%, 0.06%. And typically your smaller bugs like your mites, all your mite family. I've even seen some caterpillars at 1%, which is our recommended label. You know, it still won't harm the honeybee. The mixture rate that will start to harm beneficials is up and over 2.5%. So we're very safe when it comes to your pollinators, your beneficial bugs like your ladybugs, your parasitic wasps, you name it. We will not harm them at all. Even your predatory mites at the recommended 1%, it doesn't harm them. So it's amazing how this product works. Great question. Again, spider mites, not a problem. I've got some incredible video. I've seen cannabis plants just completely covered in spider mites, and with this product, they've been able to completely eliminate it. And almost, I don't know if you guys know, but spider mites, if you let them go untreated, they will start to web over the plant, and our product will melt the webs after you spray it. As you can see, again, we don't harm the honeybees. We're here to make a difference, and you know, the last thing that we want to do is harm the honeybees. We've actually received a tolerance exemption in and on all food commodities because of our safety profile. Hope I'm not going too fast for you guys. This one is Larry. Yeah, and it's interesting. there are a lot of products out there that are organic, right? A lot of them are, like I mentioned before, there's potassium salts of fatty acids, there's citric acid, there's neem oil, and a plethora of other oils that people will spray on their crops. But there are side effects to those. You do have to be careful with the beneficials. The oils in general, what we're finding is that the oils are clogging the stomatas of the leaf and not allowing the plant to truly breathe. So it's hampering growth. We did a study with neem oil, and what we found is that Organishield, besides its incredible effectiveness against target bugs, it also unclogs the stomata of the leaf and allows that to function better. So we're seeing, besides the bug killing, we're seeing just some incredible growth from customers that are saying that that my plants look incredible. And with the study that we did against neem oil, it showed 235% increased growth against neem oil. Just because of that, the oils tend to cover and smother a bug, but they also smother your plant. Yeah, these guys, they're growing commercially. They're farming for their family. These people in the family are dealing with autoimmune diseases. This product has been so clean. It leaves no residuals. We typically, right now, we're bound by the EPA. So everything that we do has to be approved, tested, and approved by the EPA. So we're right now in the process. We currently sell our product as a concentrate. And if you look at the bottle on the left, that's our pint size. 16 ounces will make 15.5 gallons of spray. We have the spray bottle on the right submitted for homeowners use with the EPA, but we've got our fingers crossed that that's going to be approved here soon. That's a 24-ounce bottle. It's ready to use. We do currently sell it on the website as an empty spray bottle, so you can take, mix, spray. The spray bottle is incredible. We're all about, even though we do sell our bottles with plastic, we're looking at eventually getting into, we've been talking to groups about hemp plastic, and eventually we're liking to get away from the traditional HDPE plastic. And the spray bottle also, but the spray bottle is reusable. So it's not really a one-time use thing. You buy it, you'd want to keep it. When you pull the trigger, it pressurizes it. You can spray it upside down. It puts out a much finer mist. It allows you to cover the bug better. It allows you to cover your plant better. Believe it or not, I use it. I use this bottle in my kitchen. I've gotten rid of all my other spray bottles. It's fantastic. But the pint bottle has been an industry standard for years, just because it has that measuring cup, as you can see on the side. So a lot of other companies use it, but our goal is to be, right now, when our product is made, there's no downstream waste, period. Everything gets utilized or recycled. The only waste that we contribute right now are course, cardboard boxes and plastic from these bottles. But we'd eventually like to eliminate that. Okay, our product is, as I mentioned before, it's a desiccant, and you must make contact with the bug. So if you see people spraying, typically they're not spraying to actually touch the bug. All the spraying that you see, like if you look on the internet or pictures and videos, you'll see people just basically spraying on top of the plant. Well, that's from the mindset of the past, where chemical pesticides, all you really needed to do was spray them onto the plant, and then that plant will absorb that and it'll become systemic to the plant. So when a bug bites the plant, that will be in the cells of the plant. So then the bug will succumb, whether that chemical will attack the nervous system, the respiratory system, reproductive system, something like that. So our product is different, and typically all your other organic products are also on contact products, where you basically have to make contact. So when we talk to people about spraying, and I'm not even kidding, that spraying, I've seen commercial growers that don't know how to spray. Spraying is a major topic of discussion, because if you're looking at organics and you're looking at the safety profiles of even just other products, you've got to make sure that you're covering the bug. If you don't cover the bug, it's not gonna be as effective. So when we talk to customers, we say, start at the bottom. You start at the top of your pot, or the soil at the base of the plant, and then you start spraying the stalk, and you work the undercarriage until that plant is just soaking wet underneath. And then when you finish, you spray the top down, okay? Because most of your bugs will spend time underneath the leaves because it's protection from the sun, it's protection from the wind, the rain. They lay their eggs underneath. So the key to spraying any product is starting from the bottom and working your way up. I can't stress this enough to people, because like I said, I've seen 30-year growers I watched them spray and I go, wait a minute, how does that work? It doesn't. You're not making contact. So any organic that you use, you'd need to make contact. Danny, there's your question. We're safe around all of our pollinators. We're safe around ladybugs, all the other beneficials. We're safe with the microbials in the soil. Like I said, when you spray the top of the soil, I even take my hand and I rough it up, because if you're dealing, let's say, with fungus gnats, they lay their eggs in the first inch of soil. So if you kind of scratch that up, you can sometimes kill them off, or get the adults to scatter, and you could spray them right then and there. But really safe.
Paul, Danny had another question. She said, besides the active ingredients of the coconut oil and sugar cane, are there any other ingredients?
Yes, there are. At the end, so when they make this product, it comes out as an 80 to 90% concentration. But what happens is the fatty acids that are created, and the sugar, it just becomes like a brick. So there's no way that they can get it out of the vat. And in doing this, what they figured out was that butanol, which is a food grade alcohol, they'll use that to thin it a little bit, just so they could get it out of the reactor. It's a 900-gallon reactor, and at 80 to 90% concentration, it's like a solid piece of honey. So they use butanol, and then what they do is they cut it with water, which brings it down to what we have right now is a 40% concentration. Yay? Does that answer your question? Great. Awesome. I love it when I love when I see feedback. Anybody got anyone else have questions? So if you look at our product, it resembles a soap. It has detergent properties at 2%. I've been actually using it to clean my kitchen countertops. We're not labeled for that yet, but we have such versatility. We're eventually going to go into probably, I don't know if we're looking at the bed bug market, because when our product dries, it leaves nothing. It breaks down basically into, as you can see, sugar, water, fatty acids, and CO2. And that is what we're seeing has benefits to the plant's growth. It's increasing the Brix level in the leaves. And we did a test with to see what kind of CO2 increase. So we used a ppm monitor, and we tested it before and after, and we noticed that it increased the CO2 ppms by double, which was incredible. So I'm sure you all know that the plants take in CO2 and they release oxygen. That's why we have such an amazing relationship, right? We give off, they give off, we take, they take. As our product dries, that's what it turns into, and it leaves no residual whatsoever, which is great. So I've sprayed it and in my garden, and I'll spray it and eat the fruit right then and there. You could use it to clean off. Could it be used on roaches in New York apartments eventually too? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We're looking at a combination of our product with diatomaceous earth, because roach bed bugs, they do hide. Now, if they're on the mattress, you can spray down the mattress, right? And then as it dries, you can vacuum them up, because if it touches them, it will kill them. But the ones that are retreated into, let's say, the crevices and cracks, diatomaceous earth, if you put it around the border and just leave it there, if they walk through it, it will kill them. It's a really effective insecticide. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but so a combination of the two we're looking at. So as you can see, we don't do any harm to our food supply. We're non-toxic to the water supply, the aquatics, animals, fish, you name it. We've been before I showed you the video, we've been in East Africa, Uganda. They brought us out there for the problem with ticks on cattle, which we were able to. We're starting to work with them to get that resolved, but in the preliminary studies that we've done, it was highly effective. And even though when our product dries, it leaves no residuals, there was still about a week before that they noticed the ticks started to come back. Now, disadvantage, yes, but we're not using chemicals. Out there, they use chemicals that if they get the spray in the cow's eyes, it'll blind the cow. Really, really toxic stuff. I mean, it's all over Africa, and so they were pretty excited to see that this has no. As it dries, it's gone. We even saw that the cows were licking one another because of, let's say, we think it was the sugars some of the residual sugars maybe that didn't get converted. And their coats, they said their coats were soft, like they had been shampooed. Let's see here. Great.
Okay. Thanks so much, Paul. That was really great. I'm glad you mentioned diatomaceous earth or DTM at the end, because that was my next question. That is one of the best insecticides that I'm aware of that is really completely organic and kind of full spectrum, is used across a lot of different kinds of pests. So I was wondering the comparison between the two, but that laid it out pretty nicely.
Yeah, for bed bugs, it's great because I wouldn't put diatomaceous earth on my vegetables. I wouldn't
Yeah.
eat stuff. I would if I was going to use it, I'd have to wash it off. The nice thing about this is that it besides enhancing the plant's growth, you're killing the bugs, and it leaves no trace. Like I said, it will not harm the environment whatsoever. It's drinkable safe. We've received from the Code of Federal Regulations, which is the governmental book, a tolerance exemption in and on all food commodities. So you can spray this over, let's just say you're grilling outside and the flies are flying around. You can spray this to kill the flies. And if the substance lands on your food, you can still eat it. It will not harm you whatsoever. So the safety profile is like no other. Our CEO, when we first brought him on, he said he's got a degree in microbiology, and he said this is one of the most incredible molecules that he knows in the last 50 years. So it's fantastic. It's very effective. So what do you think, guys? Was this cool, or? Anybody got any other questions? No, I guess not. Awesome.
Danny
It
said,
really is. It's highly effective. But anyway.
all right, awesome, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. So there is a discount code. It's at Organishield.com. It's also in our indoor garden market. That is on iwantagreenthumbs.com. And if you haven't signed up at iwantagreenthumbs.com, please do. We've got tons of other resources. This presentation will be part of our special events. So if you go if you sign up for iwantagreenthumbs.com, you can actually get this recording and you can watch it, share it with somebody else if you'd like to. It's going to live there, and we have other events too. We have an awesome one on different kinds of basil that we did just last month. So hope you can join us. And we do have a cross planter. We launched a new group in Baltimore, and Dion is actually the owner and promoter of that group. So thanks so much, Dion. He's going to do his first live class starting in June, and we will have a live class available in the DC area too, and that is in Sterling. So hoping to add more on as we find people that are interested to host new classes, live classes. And of course, Planter is going to help you do that, provide you with everything you need to be successful. So if you're interested in doing any live classes in your neighborhood, we'd be happy to help you out. If there are no other questions, be sure to stop by the Growing Challenge, check out what's going on. We will have our meetup for that next week on Friday. We'll see how much everyone's been growing. I know Denise shared her production already, and I have actually been growing a ton of stuff I have several pounds, I think, over the past couple of weeks because my systems are starting to take off, and it is a lot of production. So check that out, and we hope to see you at the next event. Keep in mind that we have a mixture of different groups, so some live events, some virtual events like these, but no matter what, we hope that it is inspirational and gets you to grow as much as you can indoors year round. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.